Welcome to my YouTube channel, that is Class with Gautam. In this lecture, we'll learn how to solve IELTS reading passage. My strategy to solve IELTS reading passage is to read and understand the questions first and then answer those questions. So we look at the questions first and try to underline some of the keywords in the questions that will later help us in finding the answers of the questions. So question 1 to 8, complete the table below. Choose one word only from the passage for each answer. We have been given boxes and we have to fill those boxes with only one word from the passage. So the in the table we have given trunk whose description is up to 30 meters and its use is timber for houses and making of. So why trunk is used, we'll figure out it when we'll read the passage. Leaves up to 6 meters long to make brushes. Flowers at the top of trunk. Stem provides sap used as a drink or a source of. We have to figure out why sap is used. And then we have fruit, some description about fruit. Outer layer, middle layer, that is called coir fibers, used for. Why coir fibers are used. Inner layer, shell, a source of. What source of? And when halved, how it is used for. And then we have description of coconut water, a drink, a source of what. Coconut water is source of what. Then we have coconut flesh. Coconut flesh, oil and milk for cooking and what. So we will focus on oil and milk when we will read the passage. Then we have glycerine, an ingredient in where glycerine is used. So next we have the second option, questions 9 to 13. Do the following statements agree with the information reading passage 1? We have to decide whether the statements are true, false or not given. Coconut seeds need shade in order to germinate. We have to figure out whether coconut seeds need shade or not. Coconuts were probably transported to Asia from America. We have to figure out it. Coconuts found on the west coast of America were different from those found on east coast. Coconuts from the west coast were different from the east coast. All the coconuts found in Asia are cultivated varieties. All the coconuts found in the Asia are cultivated varieties or not. Coconuts are cultivated in different ways in America and Pacific. So let's read the passage and answer these questions. Coconut palm. For millennia, the coconut has been the central to the lives of Polynesian and Asian people. In the Western world, on the other hand, coconuts have always been exotic and unusual, sometimes rare. The Italian merchant traveler Marco Polo apparently saw coconuts in South Asia in the late 13th century, and among the mid 11th century travel writings of Sir John Mander, while there is mention of great nuts of Yandi, great nuts of India. Today, images of palm fringed tropical beaches and cliches in the West to sell holidays, chocolate bars, fizzy drinks, and even romance. So we don't get any answer in the first paragraph to any of our questions. Let's read the second paragraph. Typically, we envisage coconuts as brown cannonballs that when opened provide sweet white flesh, but we see only part of fruit and none of the plant from which they come. The coconut palm has a smooth, slender, grey trunk up to 30 meters tall. Now we also encountered trunk in the questions part. This is an important source of timber for building houses and increasingly being used as a replacement for endangered hardwoods in the furniture construction industry. So timber is used for building houses and furniture construction industry. So we have got the answer to the first question. We should read it further so that we may identify whether we can get other answers or not. The trunk is surmounted by a rosette of leaves, each of which may be used up to 6 meters long. The leaves have hard veins in their centers, which in many parts of the world are used as brushes after the green part of the leaf has been stripped away. Immature coconut flowers are tightly clustered together among the leaves at the top of the trunk. Now we have the flower part, and we also saw the flower part in the question sections. The flower stems may be tapped for their sap to produce a drink, and the sap can also be reduced by boiling to produce a type of sugar. Now went through the question that stated where sap is used. So sap is used to produce a drink and a type of sugar. So let's write the answer to these questions first so that we may not forget them. So the answer to the first question is furniture. Okay, let's write here furniture. And the answer to the second question is answer to the second question is sugar. Okay, let's move forward. Then we have coconut palms produce as many as 7 fruits per year, and weighing more than a kilogram each. The whole of the fruit has 3 layers. So we discussed about the layers in the question section as well. A waterproof outer layer, a fibrous middle layer, and a hard inner layer. The thick fibrous middle layer produces coconut fiber coir. We discussed about the coir in the question section, which has numerous uses and is particularly important in manufacturing ropes. So coir is used to manufacture ropes. So here we have got the answer of another question. The woody innermost layer, the shell with its 3 prominent eyes, surrounds the seed. An important product obtained from the shell is charcoal. So the product obtained from the innermost layer is charcoal. So this is the answer to another question, which is widely used in various industries as well as in the home as a cooking fuel. When broken in half, we discussed when broken in halves, the shells are also used as bowls in many parts of Asia. So bowls is the answer of the third question. So let's write them: ropes, charcoal, and bowls. So middle layer coir fibers are used as ropes, and inner layer is a source of charcoal, and when halved, inner layer is used as bowls. Okay, now let's move to the passage again. Inside the shell there are nutrients endosperm needed by the developing seed. Initially, the endosperm is a sweetish liquid coconut water which is enjoyed as a drink, but also provides the hormones which encourage other plants to grow more rapidly and produce higher yields. So coconut water is used as a drink. We discussed it in the question as well, and it's another uses, but also provides hormones which encourage other plants to grow. So coconut water is used as hormone. Okay, so hormone might be the answer of another question. Let's see. As the fruit matures, the coconut water gradually solidifies to form the brilliant white fat-rich edible flesh or meat. Dried coconut flesh copra is made into coconut oil and coconut milk, which are widely used in cooking in different parts of the world as well as cosmetics. So we discussed the use of coconut oil and coconut milk, which are used in cooking and cosmetics. Coconut oil is used in cooking and coconut milk is used in cosmetics. So cosmetics is the answer to another question. A derivative of coconut fat, glycerin, acquired strategic importance in a quite different sphere as Alfred Nobel introduced the world to this nitroglycerin based invention dynamite. So derivative or byproduct of coconut fat glycerin is used in dynamite. So this is the answer to the third question. So hormones, cosmetics and dynamites. So let's write them in the answer section. A source of coconut water is a source of hormones. And coconut oil and milk are used for cooking and cosmetics. And glycerin is used in dynamite. Okay, let's read further. We have done with the first part. Now let's read further. Their biology would appear to make coconuts the great maritime voyagers and coastal colonizers of the plant world. The large energy-rich fruits are able to float in water and tolerate salt but cannot remain viable indefinitely. Studies suggest after about 110 days at sea they are no longer able to germinate. Literally cast onto desert island shores with little more than sand to grow in and full exposed to full glare of the tropical sun. So coconut seeds need full glare, full shine of the sun. They do not need shade to germinate. So we exposed a question that stated that the coconut seed needs shade to grow, but they do not need shade to grow. They need sunshine to grow. Coconut seeds are germinate and root in full glare, full sunshine. The air pocket in the seed created as the endosperm solidifies, protect the embryo. In addition, the fibrous fruit wall that helped in it to float during the voyages stores moisture that can be taken up by the roots of the coconut seedling as it starts to grow. So we don't get answer to any of our questions in the rest of the part. Let's move to the last paragraph. There have been centuries of academic debate over the origins of coconut. There were no coconut palms in West Africa, the Caribbean or east coast of the Americas before the voyages of the European explorers Vasco da Gama and Columbus in the late 15th and early 16th centuries. So in the western countries there were no coconut palm trees, and we read about in a question that coconuts were transported to Asia from the America. So that was a false. 6th century trade and human migration patterns reveal the Arab traders and European sailors are likely to have moved coconuts from South and Southeast Asia to Africa and then across the Atlantic to the east coast of America. So coconuts were transported from Asia to America but not from America to Asia. So that question was a false. But the origin of coconuts discovered along the west coast of America by 16th century sailors has been the subject of centuries of discussion. Two diametrically opposed origins have been found, that they came from Asia or that they were native to America. So we have two different origins that are opposite to each other. Both suggestions have problems. In Asia, there is a large degree of coconut diversity and evidence of millennia of human use. So coconuts that are cultivated through the humans, but there are no relatives growing in the wild. In Asia, we have the coconuts that are cultivated by the humans. They do not grow in the forests naturally. In America, there are close coconut relatives, but no evidence that coconuts are indigenous. These problems have led to the intriguing suggestion that coconuts originated on coral islands in the Pacific and dispersed from there. So we have gone through the passage. Let's move to the answers. So coconuts need shade in order to germinate. We saw that coconuts need sunshine to germinate. So first one is false. Okay. And coconuts were probably transported to Asia from America in 16th century. So coconuts were not transported to Asia from America. It's also false. Coconuts found on the west coast of America were a different type from those found on the east coast. So it's not mentioned in the passage, not given. All coconuts found in Asia are cultivated varieties, means they are cultivated by humans. It's true. Coconuts are cultivated in different ways in America and Pacific. So it's also not given. Okay, thanks for watching.